Let me fire an invite off to Bobby, and then we will be in business here. Where'd my email go? I fire it up again. Sorry about that. Just a sec. Okay, that looks good. Let's make sure that got sent. Actually, it looks like it might be in my outbox. No, it's good. And now let me text him. Just one sec. Oh, there it is. All right, let me let Bobby in here, and then we'll be in business. Okay, excellent.
All right, first off, congrats to Sheets for an awesome tennis slate. That's pretty great stuff. I was excited to
Yeah. It's like I tweeted. That's step one into playing NBA DFS is make sure you have a good cushion going into the evening. So yeah, we did well. You know, it was a semi-short slate, and like I said, when you're dealing with sports like that, half the battle is getting a unique lineup that has a chance to win. Judged at the time the slate starts, not later. And that's the one thing that I always consider a failure is if I make my lineups, I do whatever, and then once the ownerships and everything comes out, I'm like duped with too many people. It's already like a theoretical failure. So if you can get a passable lineup that's unique, you're already picked up a lot of equity. And fortunately, that's even though that's you still have to get it, still have to bring it home. That is very, very important. And Adam, who's been in the Discord a lot, we talk about that a decent amount. That sometimes it gets frustrating when you feel as though sometimes you're using the same projections as everybody else, using the same optimizer everybody else, everybody's playing the same lineups, but it's just not the case. My projections are just a little bit different than everybody else's, and the way you build doesn't have to be just like running the optimals and coming up with them. What I did for this particular slate is half my lineups, I set an ownership limit. And anything to get yourself a little bit different. And this one, I didn't use SaberSim because SaberSim doesn't support tennis. I used RotoGrinders HQ, and I just fired it. And I didn't make any adjustments because frankly, I don't have the knowledge base to make any adjustments. I just don't. So that worked out really, really nicely. I'm just finishing up my my FanDuel hockey, and then I will be completely at your disposal. But you can start talking about the slates right now if you want.
Yeah. So cheap is a tough word. Best cheap play at small forward, I would say. Bruce Brown is cheap. Nicholas Batum is cheap. What happened to Bruce Brown? Did I just miss something here? Why is his projection? Oh, he's not. Is he not small forward eligible anymore? What did I miss here? I'm serious. Like his name just disappeared off my list here. So hold on 1 second on that question.
Well, before we do that, I will say this. I don't know. He's not small forward eligible, but the guy who that's so funny. The guy who I guess in the most recent projections just uber popped for me.
I told you, Melton.
No. Oh. As opposed to everybody else, I assume everybody else is. I think I'm at 100% Malik Monk tonight.
Yeah, Malik Monk, that's an obvious one.
Okay, yeah, we didn't talk about that earlier. That's what's the only reason.
Well, of course we didn't, because we didn't know LeBron was out.
Oh, right. Okay.
Like, we can't predict. I think there's a reasonable chance Anthony Davis sits too, by the way. It's just going to change this whole entire slate. So don't play anybody in the Charlotte-Orlando game would be my advice. Try to get your guys later. The best value at small forward for me is Desmond Bane. I have a good amount of Batum, Grayson Allen, Josh Giddey, some Gary Trent also. Those would be the guys I'd be using. Herbert Jones plays a bunch of minutes for New Orleans these days, but he has yet to crack like 14 fantasy points. But you could consider him.
I'll tell you who I got at small forward in
Who's that?
my big lineup. It's an old friend, by the way. Before I get to that, to answer your question, I don't know how cheap you want small forward, but that Franz Wagner is good. Do you know who I have in my big lineup? I have Mr. Michael Bridges.
Yeah, fine. That's fine. I don't have a strong. I mean, playing a 3-and-D guy on a giant slate is not my favorite thing to do, but he's fine.
Yeah.
I prefer the other guys who have tend to be more active in the offense, but I think he's fine. This is a good matchup for him, so I don't mind that.
Okay. How much Portis do you have?
I want to say my issue with the Wagner thing is you're killing yourself if you do that, because you're missing the 30-minute window without knowing about the Lakers. So I really wouldn't be trying to play much of this first game.
Oh, I get it. Okay.
I really think that if AD is out, that whole thing opens up, and then you're playing a guy who's already just a borderline play. I mean, Franz Wagner I have him as the 8th best value on his own team. And
wow.
He has yet to have any game that would make him a good play at this price rate point. We don't want 5x, you know what I mean? We need 6x these days.
I'll tell you what I currently have, by the way. Also, I'll just roll through mine. This is as of now, right? So without any Anthony Davis news. With no Anthony Davis news, I actually have 50% of Westbrook.
I've got
right now. And I got almost all of Giannis on DraftKings. That's kind of, and the other place I have a bunch of ownership is I did end up. I know you told me not to do it to play this game, but I can't get away from Mo Bamba for some reason.
No, you could play it. You're just giving up a ton of equity if Anthony Davis is out. So I wouldn't be playing Mo Bamba in a main lineup for me personally. Take the fact that Steven Adams is scoring as many fantasy points and he's 5,300. Actually, he's scoring more fantasy points. I don't understand why people won't play Steven Adams tonight. It doesn't even matter matchup or anything. He's got a different role, and we have to catch on to these things. That's our job. Steven Adams has yet to be below 33 fantasy points in any game this season, and it's not a good matchup on paper because Portland doesn't surrender as much to the center position, even though they do to every other position. But in a fast-paced game, that's going to, what he's done against fast-paced team, he just put up 42 against the Lakers the other day. He had 39 the game before that against the Clippers, a slower game against Cleveland. He put up 33. I think that Steven Adams is he's like a designated rebounder. It's like a walking double-double. It's a walking 30-plus with upside. Now, there's always foul trouble. There's always things that could happen. Nurkic is, no slouch. But I have 35% Steven Adams right now.
That's awesome.
And I'm not gonna probably waver much on that one. I have too much of Batum, but I still think he's fine. I just don't think I may be a little bit overloaded on him. I was sort of hoping the fact that he only played 22 minutes in the game that Morris was out, people would see that, but they didn't pay attention to the game because he would have probably played 30 plus minutes in that game. It just happened to be a blowout. But I do like Batum a little bit. The small forward is. There's a bunch of guys you can use. I think we went through all the ones that I'm using, so I don't really think I can add much more.
I'll bring up a couple.
KCP is the only one. Like, I don't like it. It's not. Again, I say this all the time. If you're playing KCP, play him with guys it would take. He's always going to look like value. He's going to have some games where he gets hot enough to score 30 fantasy points, and most games he's going to be around 15 or less.
I'll bring up a couple of small forwards, and again, I didn't hear all the ones you went through, but with the exception of Michael Bridges, who I mentioned before, and Wagner I mentioned before, Grayson Allen, who we talked about, and then I did end up getting like 20% Desmond Bane, by the way. I have a little Anunoby, sorry, a little Terrence Ross. I guess it is kind of a weak position. Maybe we're supposed to play Jason Tatum. And the other one is Gary Trent.
Yeah, Gary Trent is in the category. He fits in with Giddey and Grayson Allen and all those guys. Yeah,
fine.
I prefer Bane. the early projections on Bane had it were totally off, as I called on the show, and he was projected to be 3% owned. Now he's projected to be 30% owned. Don't like him as much as I did, but hasn't been below 33 fantasy points in the game either this season, and he's actually been right at 33 in all of the games, and he's 4,800. So kind of hard to ignore that, especially for a game that's got the perfect game environment for him and everybody on Memphis. And I want to answer K9 Broncos question, and it's a weird one because he wants to play with. I don't understand logically how Lillard, like, I am playing Lillard, but I am playing him with Westbrook. I don't think Ja is a bad play. I love Ja. I think that he's got a tremendous upside. But are we really saying we're going to spend 1,100 more for him than Westbrook and 1,300 more than we are for Lillard? Now, if I was going to do it one way, I'd play Morant with Westbrook, not Morant with Lillard.
I'll be right back.
That's the way I would approach that. Monk, Nasir Little, or Davion Mitchell value. I don't even think about Nasir Little. I've looked at everything all day, and unless I'm totally missing something, he literally didn't even cross my radar. Like, I don't even think Nasir Little is viable. I know that there's a chance he could get there when he gets he got all the minutes in that game that they got smoked in. He did get minutes against Phoenix. It feels very fluid with his minutes. Maybe you could take a shot there. I guess that's an interesting pivot. So I would say Nasir Little would be a good long shot tournament play. I think the other guys are better for safety. Dwight Howard is only a good choice. We can't answer that question, Ricky, because we don't know about Anthony Davis. So if Anthony Davis is out, yes, Dwight Howard will be in play. If he's not, if Davis plays, I think Dwight Howard is just another guy who you could take a shot on. That's basically how I have it looked at. It's not there's always a path for some success for any of these guys who get minutes, but he is probably a little too cheap, and the minutes projection is probably a little low on him anyway. But I honestly think I might even just prefer Derek Favors to Dwight. I don't love either of them, but that's where I would have those two. Kind of, I'd be looking at. I will have a lineup or two with Dwight in it, just because I think that there is upside. But again, I'm sort of just waiting on that information before I make my decisions, because I can't make that decision yet. It's too thin. But yeah, I mean, Dwight Howard absolutely could be in play. I just can't speak to it until we get that other game information. It's too thin to do so. I will jump back to the questions in just a minute, and we're probably going to run for 15 minutes. So guys, keep popping them in. We love to hear them. We love to keep going with them. Ask Me FanDuel specific, DraftKings specific. We're happy to go through everything. It's just going to be hard to answer some of the specific Laker related questions other than Westbrook when it comes to.
By the way, I'm chilled. I'm here. I'm gonna stay through to 7:00. So. Okay. Yeah, my wife abandoned me for dinner, so I got nothing to do.
Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah. I'm
gonna be dancing in and out of some other things. I got to get my builds in, and I mean, it's weird because I say AD may not play, but I currently have 30% of it. I mean, that injury didn't look good last night. He played 43 minutes also, or 42 minutes, but that did not look like a good looking injury. I was worried he was done, and fortunately he wasn't. But yeah, anyway.
What do you think of you want to talk about FanDuel for a minute?
Yeah.
What do you like? You like anything cheap at small forward on FanDuel?
Let me just see my FanDuel builds. Scotty Barnes is a little too cheap over there.
I have him already.
Jay Crowder.
Yeah, I thought of that.
Gary Trent.
I have Terrence Ross right now in this position.
Well, that's a bold play, and it's definitely, there's always a path for Ross, right? I mean, he had 0 fantasy points in the last game with 22 minutes, so no one is going to play him. So I think that's an awesome long shot tournament play.
Okay.
But it doesn't have to be a large field. Like he could win you a tournament. Like if he puts up 35 and the other guy's bust, I mean, he could easily put up 35. He just did it a couple games ago.
Well, who's better, Jay Crowder or Terrence Ross? I mean,
Jay Crowder is safer. No, they're not close to the same. Jay Crowder is much, much safer of a play because he's going to get minutes, going to put up some production. Terrence Ross could literally get you 5 fantasy points.
Right.
Jay Crowder is not going to get you 5. He's more likely to be 15 if he busts.
Yeah, but you know what? Everybody else in this lineup, I'll show you the lineup.
Yeah, go ahead, share it.
So it looks somewhat chalky aside from that. That's the problem.
Yeah. We're answering Paul Lucas's question about Terrence Ross here. Yeah, I think Terrence Ross is a terrific long shot tournament play. Absolutely. Go ahead. The problem is you're gonna have a hard time getting me to commit to these guys who are in this first game. I just think
Right.
it's mathematically wrong. In case not just AD, we've been getting late information every single day so far. This feels like a little bit wrong personally. Top DK's tourney stud over 10K. It would be Giannis for me. I have him at 38% Giannis over 10K. I did squeeze Harden and Durant into a couple lineups because of the lack of ownership. People with tough defensive teams don't seem to understand that often means the better players have to take on more of the load. I still think Harden is not right, and he is physically not in shape. But that doesn't mean he can't go out there and score 65, 70 fantasy points. Speaking of which, I did make sure to force Bam Adebayo into 20% of my lineups because I think this is a really good spot for him, and we're going to see that 50 plus really soon. And Brooklyn is a team that you could definitely hope to see something like that from. No Horford on DK for me. I'm going to double check real quick what my numbers.
Oh, is he playing?
Yeah, he's in.
So that means that I'm not that interested in Robert Williams.
Yeah, I wasn't. Yeah. I mean, it doesn't mean Robert Williams can't get there. He just hasn't yet, and it definitely diminishes him.
Yes.
Yeah. But Horford at 5,800. There's no way I could bring myself to do it. I know he had 2 good games the other previous games. The thing is, he did get a lot of rebounds in those games, so maybe you could make an argument, I guess. But I just think there's so many better plays out there that I don't need to do that.
Hey, what do you think about if you don't want to play Jay Crowder at small forward at 3,900? What do you think of Kent Bazemore?
That's what I was going to get into. That's the one who I'm switching over on both sites and getting exposure to. Everyone wants to play the Monk thing, and I get it. I mean, by the way, anyone speculating that Monk isn't going to start, or even if Ellington's back tonight, because Ellington might be back also, which we also need to find out about, which would hurt Bazemore. But assuming that Ellington is in fact out again, Bazemore is going to close for them. He's going to play minutes, and that's enough of a reason to take a shot on a guy who no one's going to play when everyone's going to flock to a different guy. But I'd like to point out Malik Monk in a game that went into overtime last night was plus 33. That is almost impossible. It's literally almost impossible. So the idea that they wouldn't give him all the minutes he can handle tonight would be shocking to me. I just think it would be a huge. Either the coach has got something weird up his sleeve or something. I don't know. There's no reason why you wouldn't play a guy who's plus 33 in an even game. That's a real standout. Considering he played 38 minutes, so that means when he wasn't on the court, they were minus 33. That's incredible, or minus whatever 28. That's pretty amazing.
What do you think of a couple of like 1v1s here at like similar prices on FanDuel? So Reggie Jackson at 5,600, DeAnthony Melton at 5,500, or Kelly Oubre at 5,700.
I prefer Jackson, but I think that it's fairly close between all of them.
Okay.
I'd rather have the guy who's willing to go out there and take 20 shots. That's my.
The only thing that concerns me is that in his last game, I mean, he was really like 5 for 20 or something like that.
What does that matter?
What it matters is that maybe the rest of the team is looking at him funny now, and maybe he won't take 20 shots like that.
No way, not for the guy who carried them through the playoffs and was statistically the best one-on-one ISO player in basketball last year, which is beyond my like. You can tell me a full season would happen that Reggie Jackson was the number 1 rated player in terms of efficiency in 1 ISO plays.
That's amazing.
It's shocking. Bobby Portis smashing tonight. He can smash for somebody else. Unless I hear something weird, like coming back from a hamstring injury, not having played a game yet, it doesn't feel like any reason at all to mess around with this. And he's going to be, in my opinion, overly owned. So you guys can have that. I'll skip the Bobby Portis thing myself. But again, Bobby Portis, always a guy who can go off. Sure. You're going to bet on him as chalk on coming back from a hamstring injury where he hasn't played a game yet. That's not for me. Do I still like Jaylen Brown for GB? Yeah, I do. But there's other guys who I found that I liked a little bit better. This is another guy who's talking about something totally different. D'Angelo Russell. I think D'Angelo Russell, I don't like him. He's a bad basketball player. And they have enough other spots in Minnesota. However, because he's a bad basketball player, he sometimes is good for DFS. But are you really going to tell me that he's a better play than Shai Gilgeous-Alexander? That's a tough one for me. Hard to buy that. The guy, he did have the 40 fantasy point game against Houston, and he did it in pretty limited minutes, took a ton of shots. It's hard for me to get to D'Angelo Russell. I completely understand it. There's always a path for him. He can make a bunch of threes, but he's certainly not a play you should feel comfortable with. He's a guy you should be playing hoping to get the upside of his 3-point shooting, and maybe he makes a bunch of threes. I would rather play Cat. I would rather play Anthony Edwards from the same team. Jay Crowder or Jalen McDaniels on FanDuel Power Forward. I'd rather Jay Crowder, but it's close. I actually think there's a good argument to be made for McDaniels. People look at it and they say, oh, he did this for me last night. It doesn't mean anything. Don't ever worry about how a player did for you, or if you never get him right or whatever. Just play the guys who are the best plays. One guy we didn't talk about who I think you might want some exposure to is Rondo. Now, I think they learned pretty quickly that playing Rondo and Russ together is not necessarily the best thing, and it is a back-to-back with Rondo. But he's 3,100, and he's going to get some minutes, and he is a fairly productive player, point per minute. So I can get behind a little bit of Rondo. I just don't love that he's going to be owned as well. I think we're going to get better value than what we have right now. Now, if Davis is out also, that sort of everything, scrap everything. We can play all the Lakers. You could play like a bunch of guys. They are playing on like 11-man rotation right now. Just keep that in mind.
So if they announce, that game is at 8:00.
Yeah.
Okay.
And by the way, I did want to mention, I still love Richaun Holmes tonight. I don't hear anybody talking about Richaun Holmes. I think there's a really cool Richaun Holmes and Steven Adams things you can do for super cheap, and that could certainly do some damage. So
all right. I'm in. How much is this Steven Adams character? What's his price?
5,300.
Yeah.
It's the mistake everyone was making with Cordarrelle Patterson. You know what I mean? He was playing 28 minutes a game with or 26-ish minutes a game for a team that was really not, doing anything. Now he's playing on a team that's driven, young, and they're using him, and they're playing against another big. So,
this is what we're doing. This is you want to get into Sheets' brain. This is what Sheets does. So based on Bobby's last couple of takes, this is the change that I am making. I had way too much Bobby Portis, and I have almost zero Steven Adams. So what I'm going to be doing right now is going into my handy dandy SaberSim optimizer with my projections, and I am going to force in some Adams and force out some Portis, and I'll be much happier as a result.
Yeah, there you go.
That's it.
Getting a question. This is a pretty basic one. Dort, Man, or Bane in the forward spot on DK. Well, Dort is not forward eligible on DraftKings, so that you got to eliminate Dort. So between Man and Bane is the easy answer. I time everybody in tournaments unless you say cash game. Dort is the better play. Man is going to be the unowned one, so you can go there. If there's any MLB takes you have, I'll throw some out there. I was reading your mind, Steve. I didn't see your question about Rondo. I just was speaking about him separately. Honestly, your question hadn't even come in yet because there's a little delay. Melton, what do we think about Melton? I like Melton. I don't think he's a must, but I do have about 15% of him right now. I guess that answers that question. Okay. And let me just get this out the way.
Right, it's going to make me feel much better. So now I'm going to have 20% Portis and 20% Adams. Now we're on to something.
You guys are really into this Portis play. We don't even know if he's playing or not, but
it says he's probable.
I know he's probably going to play. But I know it's fine. It's totally fine. It's just he's projected to play what? He's going to play somewhere between 16 and 20 minutes. It's asking for a lot. We've seen a lot from him before, but it's not like Noiro has been bad since he's been out, and not exactly the same position, but sort of close enough. I also do still like Joval. Speaking of new teams and new situations and how they're using you, Joval finally has the minutes that he never has had before. And Joval with minutes, you can see the production. He's put up 53 and 60 in his last 2 games. Now they were both against Minnesota, and this is a tougher matchup against Atlanta, but he's going to get all their rebounds, or a good portion of them anyway.
Let's see how much Portis I have on FanDuel, if any. I don't know. Do I? Should I have any? I got 10% of them. Okay, that's fine.
What is his price over there?
48.
I really like Anunoby too, guys. Wanted to throw that out there. I think OG and Fred VanVleet are sort of getting lost a little bit more in the slate now. There's more information.
What do we got?
Nick Claxton is ruled out. So
Nick Claxton on the Nets?
Yeah, that's going to be a weird one. Ugh. NBA, man. It's enough to make you go crazy.
I totally forgot that. Like James Harden's playing tonight, right?
Yeah, James Harden is playing.
I have like one lineup with him. Shouldn't I have more?
Who?
James Harden.
No, I mean he's going to be completely unowned. So go ahead. That's why I forced him into one. I am not playing much Kuzma, but I do have him about 12%. I would say. I think that actually is what my exact number is. On DraftKings, I don't have him on FanDuel, which is weird because he's cheaper on FanDuel. But I just didn't find myself needing to get to that spot. Kelly O or Devontae Graham. Devontae Graham. That's my answer, and it's a pretty basic one. Yeah. Guys, pop in a few more because I'm going to go in 3 minutes. Sheets is going to hang in there with you.
Yeah, that's fine.
I don't think I need to play Josh Giddey anymore. I'm interested to see how this Nets thing changes. Let's see. What are they going to do in Brooklyn? Just going to bring in all these other guys.
Who do we get in there? You get any DeAndre Bembry? Yeah, you get DeAndre Bembry at 3K? No, not really. Right?
No, it's going to be like Aldridge, Millsap, and Blake Griffin.
Oh, that's some crew.
The old man crew. That's what my guess would be how it goes. By the way, you realize what Patty Mills is shooting from 3-point range this year?
Like 100%.
He's 16 for 25, shooting a nice healthy 68%.
That's it.
That's only 68%. He did have the 1 for 6 game. Other than that, he was 5 for 9, 3 for 3, and 7 for 7. And then that's still struggling.
Bane. Do you like? I presume the answer is yes. I mean, you like Bane more than Michael Bridges, right?
I do, but I don't think there's anything wrong with playing Bridges, and he'll be lower on. So I think it's actually kind of a cool play. Okay. MLB takes, I'll say real quick before I get out of here, even though I think we've got one person probably playing. Siri is your value play. I would use one pitcher again. Can't count on someone getting hurt like yesterday with Morton. My captain will probably be Bregman. I'm only playing like one lineup, so it'll probably be Bregman or Albies. Those would be my 2 favorites.
As for me, I got 100%. I'm playing 20 lineups. I have 2 guys 100%. I have guy you mentioned, Siri, and the other one, and Rosario.
Yeah, certainly makes sense.
And I don't think I have any pitchers in the captain tonight. Yeah, no pitchers in the captain tonight.
I guess it's me and you and Sheets, Triple J, because we're the only ones who are playing a tiny bit. Zubac is a reasonable play tonight. I agree with Paul Lucas on that one. Any 3,300 guys are under. I think Rondo is one of your bets there. Don't really have anybody else under 3,300 that I have currently rostered. I don't believe.
Yeah, I got not off of, but I'm not playing JaVale McGee after.
I mean, the Nets don't have a big anyway. What the hell are they going to do with Bam?
After careful consideration.
Even with Claxton there, what are they going to do with Bam? he's gonna have a monster rebounding. He's gonna get 20 rebounds tonight. Somebody asked earlier, Precious or Steven Adams. I think I made my stance pretty clear, although I do like Precious.
That's by the way, that's going to be, I mean, if you have 35%, Steven Adams, you're going to have like 34% more in the field.
I know. Don't just look, you know what? We say not to be recency bias, and then when no one's recency bias, be recency bias. You know what I mean?
Right.
I don't.
I got kind of a cheapo that you mentioned earlier. Derek Favors.
Yeah. Favors is
not the greatest play in the world, but he's 3K.
Yeah, you switch him for Dwight Howard if Anthony Davis is out. That's.
You want even a worse play? I can give you a worse one at 3,300.
Who's that?
How about Herbert Jones?
Yeah, Herbert Jones is going to play all the minutes. Still hasn't put up more than 15 fantasy points. I mentioned him earlier.
And I actually have Rondo popping here.
Yeah, he's popping on projections, and he's going to be fairly popular. And it's a back-to-back. If AD doesn't play again, it's going to just mean more minutes for everybody. But we'll see about Ellington coming back also, because that's a possibility. But I mean, what are they going to do? Like, you know, how many minutes are they going to be willing to put Rondo and Westbrook out there together? Like 6? So let's say they do 6. That means Rondo's ceiling cap is 20. You know, unless they're willing to play him more, which so far they haven't looked willing to do. But I think that's pretty much it for me. Utility 6,300. That's a very wide range. Let me see my best 6,300 plays. I would say the best ones are, I like John Collins a little bit. I like Scotty Barnes a little bit. It's a weird range. It's not my favorite. I guess Mo Bamba if you want to play the first game, or Cole Anthony, but not my favorite price tier. I think that John Collins would be the guy I'd be most willing to use.
Well, give us some ideas. Give us some ideas if you're not going to be around. Like if they do announce AD out, like what are some names of like
everybody on the Lakers?
Okay. Like, should we go with whoever starts, for example?
Yeah, but I mean everybody's going to be more in play, but it depends on whether Ellington plays. And more likely than not, one or I don't know how it works actually, to be honest with you. Maybe it's a tough one a little bit. I don't know. X Factor, clarify your question. You mean bigs, other bigs, or the Laker bigs? I don't know. I don't understand that.
You mean Dwight Howard?
Well, yeah, I don't know if he means the Laker bigs or just bigs in general, because Anthony Davis would be my favorite of the bigs if he plays.
I think he might be asking if AD is out, which bigs should we?
Yeah, but if he's meaning the Lakers, I already said that one. It's Dwight Howard.
Oh, okay.
They don't really have any other bigs. It's just Dwight Howard and DeAndre Jordan. There's no other bigs on their team. Austin Reeves is probably going to play a bunch of minutes tonight. I don't know if any of you guys know who Austin Reeves is. He's the other 3K guy you can use. He played 30 minutes last night against the Spurs for the Lakers. Now
Austin Reeves.
He's a rookie.
That's not big country, right?
No, that's Bryant.
Okay.
Anyway, I'm gonna bounce out of here. I do think Carmelo will be a great play if AD is out. By the way, I'll say that.
Ooh, that's interesting.
But I don't think it's gonna be. I think people will be on it too. He would be a play. Priority is tough with Melo because he's gonna be very streaky. So it depends on what the ownership would be, and my guess is the ownership will be pretty high. So I would consider him a good play, not a great play. So Monk, is that official that Monk is starting? Because I didn't get any message that said that yet, but I'm 99% sure that Monk would start. If they don't start him, I don't know what the hell they're doing. Like, it'd really be hard to figure that one out.
Let me see if I can find some more news here.
All right, I'm gonna bounce. Good luck to everybody tonight. I gotta redo my lineups and everything, and just be ready for this Laker thing. Just remember, if you're playing the Orlando guys, make sure you do not have them anywhere on the bottom half of your screen. They should only be at the top. And I would recommend against playing them, even though somebody probably gets there. But there's a ton of guys who are gonna get there tonight. So anyway, good luck everybody. Good luck, Sheets. Congratulations again on the big win. And guys, please give us the like on the video and all that stuff. And we really appreciate you guys tuning in. It's nice to have the big crowd back for the NBA. A bunch of people coming in and out. So I appreciate that. Good luck, everybody.
I'm going to play around here and see what other kinds of lineups get generated. If I ran like a 150 with existing projections, where that would get me. So that's giving myself some ownership phase, giving myself some correlation. Let's see what we generate here. Okay, let's see. So if I did it this way, then Giannis still just gets jammed in, as does Malik Monk, Melton, Batum. Portis only 40. Okay, I feel bad. I feel better for having manually not removed, but put Portis down. I'm still getting the same thing, but Cole Anthony's popping up a little bit here, and the only problem is, like Bobby was saying, is that you don't get to. You don't get to react to the Laker news so much, but I don't know. I think it's not the end of the world. Or maybe it is the end of the world. I mean, I'm playing Westbrook anyway. I'm playing Malik Monk anyway. Who am I missing? I guess I don't get to play Dwight Howard, right? Because I'm using Mo Bamba in the center spot. But Memphis-Portland, what time is that game? Memphis-Portland. Let me just remind myself. That game is in, let me see something. Memphis-Portland is not till 10 o'clock. So I have Melton in the flex and all these things. So if I really do need to go play, Dwight Howard at 8, at like 7:45, I can do it. And he's only 3,500, right? Probably gonna have to play him, right? If Davis is out. So that's what I'm kind of preparing for, and I think that is important, is to just kind of be prepared. I wonder when they would actually give. I'll get to you in a second, JJ. I wonder if they're when they would actually make that announcement. Do I like 5-1 Houston Astros stacks? I don't know if I got to too many of them today. Let me see. I mean, I like that whole concept in general, to play the 5-1 and like almost like an onslaught. Play the pitcher and the captain, and really just go for it like that. But I don't have too much of that. I have, I guess you would say, somewhat balanced. Let me just shoot. I'll give you my total breakdown here. If you like 5x1s, I mean, I think that's fine. I actually think that those are usually pretty different. Stack types. Yeah, that's actually true. I actually do have about 70% of my lineups are 5-1s, but they're actually, let me just see. But they're mostly, I wouldn't say mostly Atlanta's actually. I think hold on. Of the I have 14 5-1s. Here are the Atlantas. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 50%. So I have 50% of my 5-1s. 50% of them are Astros, 50% of them are Braves, and that comprises 70% of the total lineups that I have. So yeah, and I want to show you how much of those have a pitcher in the captain. Not that, I don't think any. No, I have one with Fried, and I don't have any. I don't have any of the 5-manners with 5-1s with the pitcher, except for I have one with Fried in the utility. Actually, 2 with Fried in the utility, 3 with Fried. So but there's nobody in the captain, except one. I do have one 5x1 with Fried in the captain. I hope that answers. Your question. I didn't get to any of the relievers tonight, man. But let me see. Let me build another one. I'll do another. I'll do another DraftKings build, and let's see. Let's include them all in the player pool this time. That's a good question. Do I like anybody? All right, so we're gonna let everybody be eligible. Let's see if we get any AJ Minter or something like that. All right, let's pound away and see what they come up with. If I allow these relievers to get in, I think I should, because I have that 4K guy right in some lineups. So you would think that in some of the sims, since you have Siri at 4K, you'd think that in some of the sims they would replace that with a reliever, right? So let's just see. No, I mean, no, not really. Oh, wait, are we? Who are these guys? So Siri. Yeah, I am getting a couple. I'm getting some Kendall Graverman, some Phil Maton. I'm actually going to use those. I like that. So we're gonna. This way you can do it with SaberSim. You could filter that. So I'm going to search for all the Gravermans, and then also all of the. So we're gonna download those. Okay. Boom. Just those 4. And then we're gonna do the Maton. Boom. Download those. Yeah, I'll put those in. That's that's a good idea. Thank you. Yeah, so that's what I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna use those too. So it would be Graverman or Maton, but these are zeros. You know what I mean? These guys are really like legit 0 possibilities. But that's fine. It just, you know what I mean? It gets you different from everybody who's going to have Siri at the same price. God forbid they do get in and get like 1 point and Siri gets a 0. You are just like the nuts pretty much. Right, so let's put those in. And then we're going to do oh, wait. Then this one. And then we'll enter those. I'm assuming it's not sold out yet, right? Oh, no, we got plenty of time. And then, yeah, and that one also has a Fried and the captain. They're full 5 zeros. Yeah, I like. I'll send you a thing of popcorn if we win this one for the reminder. Except this is an interesting situation. Why do I have? Hang on a minute. I think I ended up with some position players that aren't playing. Let me just see something. No, he's playing. He's playing. All these guys are playing. I thought for some reason that Jock Peterson wasn't playing. Yeah, so yeah, I'm gonna get some Graverman, whoever that is, and some Maton, whoever that is. And I did get some Peterson. Yeah, you're definitely giving something up, Adam. I don't know how much or what, and how to, you know what I mean? It's just the, I think I'd like to think that you're supposed to, with about 15, I mean, if you want to be efficient, with like 10 minutes to post, just double check everything and maybe rerun it through SaberSim with their new projections. I don't know. I would probably rerun it one more time with about 5 minutes to go, and then just kind of trust that the correlations adjust. I don't know. I mean, you're 100%. I mean, I can just tell you right now that you are giving something up, like in anything, by acting early. I promise you that. I mean, how much, I don't know, but for sure. I got 15 minutes. Let me take a look at the any news here. 1 sec. Who's got my who's the hot Discord right now? Like who's been good with the news for me? These guys have been all right. Let's go here. Anthony Davis is a game time decision at 6:30 p.m. Adam in anyway. Still playing Westbrook anyway. AD playing. AD in. He's in. Anthony Davis looks like he's in. Let me confirm that. I'd like to get a quote, but it certainly looks like he's. Malik Monk will start again in Monk's place. Anthony Davis will play tonight for the Lakers. There it is. Okay. Okay. Good. Yeah, I don't know either, Adam. And then you can also say that if you play non-correlated lines, you also get a little randomness, which helps. Which helps your uniqueness. But that can't be right. I mean, what I should do, again, if I was doing hockey for like ultra seriously, I would just wait again. You know what? It's freaking 6:45. All right, I'll do one more. I got to do this on the other page. This is going to be impossible. Hold on. Let me leave this here. I don't like AD as a play. I don't play guys back-to-back games off of overtimes. I don't do that. I would play Westbrook before AD. I mean AD could play 22 minutes and decide that his ankle hurts. I'm gonna probably should do this. All right, it's 6:48. We got 12 minutes. Let's see how fast I am. I don't think I'm gonna get it in time. It takes me usually a full 15 minutes to get everything. Let's try. Let's see. Let's see if I can do it. If I can do it and get a fully updated fit set of hockeys, I will post it. We're gonna race. I'm getting really good, but I don't think I'm that good. I'll tell you what, we'll just do DraftKings. Maybe it helps if we just do DraftKings. All right, let's see. Oh, this is so hard. You never know. We can try it. Okay. I need full attention for just 4 minutes, I think. Mrs. Sheets left me dinner. That's good. At least I got left dinner. It's better than nothing. AD is in. I do not like AD. That answers that question. And now we can go ahead and play these. Now I can go play these turkeys from the early game. So I'm not waiting on anything. I should be able to get this hockey done. Let's see. Just going to be DraftKings, but see what happens. It's like poker. I mean, the later you act, it's always the best. It's always the best. Oh, this one's not going to be good. Okay, so we got to give up a little bit. This is kind of behind the scenes. We're going to give up maybe like 14% projection integrity for line integrity with this model, and then we'll tweak just a little bit, and then one more ownership run, and then we'll just fire it. And this I'll tell you, this usually works. It's going to be the last lineup created is going to be the one that wins. All right, let's see if we can't do this. Oh, 651. Oh, plenty of time. I don't know what my issue was. Hold on. All right. Okay. Let's see. Boom. Oh, baby, it's not going to work. Did I screw something up? Maybe. Let's see. I cannot save this workbook as the same workbook. Oh, okay. It's true. So we'll do that. And oh man, this is gonna be so close. No, I'll get it done. I got you. Hold on. NHL. No. Okay. 652. I'll get this up by 655. This shouldn't be a problem. This should not be a problem at all. It's got to go on this run though, otherwise we're dead. This is literally no idea what I'm talking about at all, but that's okay. Oh, killing me, Eric. Oh, it's gonna be so close. Okay. Let me just take a quick look. Come on, don't overwhelm me here. All right, that's good. This is good. And go in here. Oh man. Drive. Boom, boom. All right, almost. All right, if you are so inclined, hockey updates are updated at 6:53. Good luck. I'm going to do it too. I'm going to change my lineups too. What the hell? I mean, you have to presume that the later the better, right? I didn't change hockey. FanDuel. I just changed DraftKings. And then I got to tweak this, tweak that, tweak this, tweak that. Okay, so now we're going to do this. We're going to take our existing hockeys. Edit. Download over here. I can just add some new ones, but I'm not going to do that. The thing is, the only problem is because hockey just takes a while to run the sims. I still don't know why that is in hockey. And now I got to see how much of this I want because I'm not going to take 100% of anybody in the hockey game. But I shouldn't say that. I might. We'll just see. See what comes up. But it's 6:54. I mean, we have all day, right? That's 6 full minutes. Now you know what's going to happen, Adam. I'm going to go check on it. It's like 3 minutes to post time in the NBA. Like all my guys are going to be out. Like Mo Bamba is going to be ruled out with like 3 minutes to post or something like that. Okay, so this isn't bad. So we're going to tweak this. We're going to go max 50 for these clown shows. And then what do my stacks look like? That's okay. We want to go max probably 60 of that. It's fine. And then we're going to do this. And then we're going to do this. And we're going to do that. The key is to not see what you got rid of, because then you're not going to be happy with yourself. Upgrade, download. All right, so let's see. That's literally the best I can do. I mean, it doesn't get any closer to the end than that. Okay, let me see what else I have here. Let's put the NBA projections back up on the home page here. Golf is going to be a little interesting. I'm going to do that a little bit later. I'm going to finalize that. Let me see. Okay, FanDuel. Beverly or Peyton? Well, I'll pull it up and see what. I didn't remember getting to either of those guys particularly. You mean Elfrid Payton? I mean, is he still playing? So Elf Payton, I don't have him rated particularly well at all. And Beverly, I don't really like him at all either. I shouldn't say I don't like him. I mean, like, they're just not really projecting very well. Yeah. Okay, I am getting a little bit hungry, so I'm gonna go. Good luck, everybody. And once again, I'll put what do I have tomorrow? Is there any tennis tomorrow? There should be, right? Let's see how big the slate is. Let's see. It's not big enough. 15 games. Why not? 15 games, just like today. I was able to get like all kinds of uniqueness without doing much. I don't know. So I'll roll with it again. Another 10K for first tomorrow. Is there soccer tomorrow? I got surprised by a soccer slate tomorrow. The UFC or UCL. No, not yet. Not this week, I don't think. Or at least not tomorrow. So I just got to redo the golf. MMA is going to be a freaking war this week. I'm going to put projections up. I'm going to do my breakdown tomorrow. Maybe Friday even. That's going to be really tough. And it's a Saturday, 10:30 a.m. post time, by the way. Looking forward to a couple weekends from now. I'm going back to UVA. And when I go back to UVA, you know what that means? That means that I can play college football, DFS, and I'm going to be stacking the UVA Notre Dame game. And that's going to be fun. NASCAR, they roll this weekend. We'll get to that. And NFL, we have Showdown tomorrow night. We have Green Bay, Arizona. That'll be a fun one. Green Bay, Arizona will be fun. But all right, I'm going to eat. Good luck. I'll catch up to you later.